Issues thrice.
Right, I'm going to check it.
EW1 thrice.
Rob, off you go.
-1.
Ready to go.
Rob,
Gauge
off you
4
go.
foot, gauge 4 foot 8.5 inches, -2.
This has started just completely out of field, hasn't it?
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Shunting Yard. This week we are joined by Max, from who goes under the moniker of Mountaineer, and we are discussing narrow gauge modelling.
Well, hopefully.
We're
Fingers
trying.
crossed. If we're hoping that this software, at least sees us through until the end of the stream, that'd be wicked.
That would.
And everything that could have gone wrong today has gone wrong.
Well, no, this week regarding this stream has gone wrong. Going from the topic all the way to the stream itself. Anyway,
Definitely not feeling like a sub at this point.
He is a negative, Rummy, isn't he? It's all not going to plan this week, is it? Oh no!
Find our superstar guest. So it's Max.
So Max, hello for starters. Tell us who you are and what you do, and tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been modelling narrow gauge for about 19 years now. So my first exposure to the real narrow gauge railways is, I'm told, I was carried through the Aberglasslyn Pass back when there was no track bed, and then ride summer holidays in Porthmadog, and then felt I needed to model narrow gauge. Had the 00 train set, as you do, but just wasn't good enough.
Hornby train sets just only cut it for a certain amount of time, don't they? So, especially for people who don't particularly like Flying Scotsman or Mallard.
I did have.
So, Rob, where did you start narrow gauge modelling?
About October last year.
Oh, all right, okay, fair enough.
Well-seasoned veteran.
Yes. Now that's impressive. Oh, obviously, a few streams ago, you know that I used to model in narrow gauge in 016.5.
Oh, in 30.
Yeah. Before it was called NG7. But let's address the elephant in the room. James, James, you there?
Yes. Yes, you're down there.
Hey.
What?
Yeah, I know you're up here. Have you started doing narrow gauge yet?
Well, actually, I got a delivery, and I think
about 10 minutes ago.
I might have to keep it.
What in the name of all abortions is that?
Well, I know it's got a cab that comes off.
Okay.
I can tell you exactly
It's got
what that is.
Rapid disassembling cab.
that is a Smallbrook Studios kit that used to be a Bachman Junior Greg.
Greg.
I'm a Bachman Greg. Yes, speak me to it.
Bachman Greg.
I like the perk. No perk. We
Rob,
only have
it is lovely.
It looks
Can
so
I
much
get
better
a Greg
than Greg
with
anyway.
wagons thrice -1?
It's already begun.
I have to ask.
It's already begun.
I've seen this stream being advertised as chaos. Now, is that a first, or because normally it descends into chaos? But
well,
normally
expect
it
chaos.
all went out the window when we didn't have the usual starting point of the news. Can you do the news?
Rob, I don't know what's going on, man.
Right, come on, guys, rein it in.
So what we're all thinking. Where's the news?
Considering we haven't actually got any, we can't put any slides up. Shall we just
Yes,
what
we
the
can.
news is?
Ah.
Can we? Oh.
Yes, we can.
Go on then, James. Give us the news.
The news.
Oh, excellent.
But the problem is now I can't see the chat, so problem.
I can see the chat. I'll tell you if Thunderblade comes into it or not.
So, first off, surprise from Rapido. I don't know, Dan. Do you want to tell us what it is?
Hello, the Polish tank engine. Oliver Train Walker. Yes, we do like narrow gauge. My God, this is going to be amazing, says Proper Chuffed, but he's got the week off, so I don't know what he's doing there.
He was here 5 minutes ago. He's being lazy.
Well, I gather he
right.
needed a break from ScotRail, so you needed
We all
to
need a
find
break
someone
from
else who had.
ScotRail.
So you needed to find someone else who had no
Oh,
idea.
here we go.
Well, we're now doing Welsh Rail.
Oh,
guys,
now that Hilt's back, I can't do the Thunderblade bit anymore.
Guys, we can't see the news. It just says your stream is still running.
You can't see the news.
Thanks, bye.
How about now? Any better?
Yes, it's there now.
Okay.
It's come up. I can see it. I was busy reading the comments, so I've got my iPad up, and I didn't look at this part of the screen, but I did look at this part.
Let me go back. There we go.
The news.
It's just a
rewind.
We've just
rewind.
Pull up.
Okay, James, over to you. He's gone. He's gone.
Hang on, I need to pour myself one of these. Hang on.
To be fair, I think James should just focus on doing the nannying bit, and you lead this, Rob. Go on. You tell us what the news is.
Cheers, everybody, to chaos in 5 minutes.
Cheers.
I've got to bring up the news stream on my phone now, so I can actually see what's bloody going on.
Oh.
Go on. Next slide, James.
Yeah, but it's going to keep doing this.
What's it doing?
Yeah, it disappears. No, then it reappears. It's fine. It's coming up. It's okay.
It's coming up.
Yes, but it will.
It's coming up.
It's there.
Is this the Rapido news about that Great Western single thing?
The Great.
Is it available on on vinyl?
Oh, do you know
the
what?
single? Is the single on vinyl? I don't know.
This is the B side.
Oh, is it? Yes. The B side.
Is that Cumbrian Rail? Is it? Is that Cumbrian Rail Blue? Is it? Yeah.
Cumberland sausage.
You know what?
I just know that if you get a different variant, you don't get a dome, but you get a cane bin. Or is that something else?
There we go.
Single cane.
Is that better?
This is the
everybody?
Caledonian single locomotive that's been recently announced by Rapido. I'm sure the other people can put a bit more information on that, because I don't really, follow double O gauge stuff.
It's a what if I remember correctly, because it never ran with this boiler in this color, and Rapido are too lazy to go back and do everybody a favor and change the damn tooling so it's actually correct.
You've just gone from a point where I could comment and said something that I can't comment on. So, I'm not getting involved in this.
No.
Why make a model of something that's a one-off when you can make 2 models of a one-off?
And get the number wrong. Obviously. It's still 1, 2, 3 instead of 1, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. What about the other news? We found another news item that is important.
Okay. So also 224.95, and then sound for 324. Go to Rails. We need to be sponsored by them. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, this week on Rails is new. Not just the news, just Rails is new.
Cavalex have got these things. I don't know what they are.
They haven't come on the screen yet. Oh, those.
These things.
Cavalex, multiple tugs.
Batch 2 in 3 liveries. Here's some prices.
So you can have a load haul tug, an EWS tug, a rail freight tug, but no unlucky tug.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But Rails
Rails
have also got some limited editions for some monies, same monies. But I do like that green one. It's got the right name on it.
Oh, yeah, IKB.
Yeah,
is it?
It's IKB.
Nice.
It's got the right name on it.
Does it have a bell though? Surely all Great Western green.
Just give me some rope and a little bit of wire, and I'll sort it after tea. After tea. Such a good film.
And that's it.
Right. Okay. What about the other news item?
This news item is what you're talking about, I believe.
Oh yes. Max, care to enlighten us?
So the BBC Archive YouTube channel recently uploaded the Model World episode about model railways with Bob Symes, and if you haven't seen it, watch it because it just explains all the basics of model railways, everything you need to know, and then you will know what you're doing.
Yeah. It also tells you where the right place to put a layout is.
That's actually a different show.
Is there a
No,
right way?
it's the beginning. It says he's not right on the carpet because Mums comes in with the tea. Yeah, exactly.
From the image, you need to build a layout under your tea, unless you're a coffee yourself.
Yes, exactly that. That's right. Yeah. So why is this significant again?
Because it
it's Bob
teaches you
Symes.
not to run
Because
things
Bob
on
Symes.
carpets.
Oh, yeah.
And then look, 16.5 also plays a little bit of a cameo.
Oh, everybody, good news. Thunderblade 989. Hi, everyone, I'm late. Hope I haven't missed much.
Oh, you've missed
He couldn't have come up with a
everything.
better comment.
You have missed
It's been a
everything.
complete
This has been the worst start to a stream since probably the first episode.
You mean since we did the first one on Instagram?
Oh God, yeah,
It
that was weird.
It was advertised as chaotic. Nobody expected this to be what the chaotic was.
This early on? No way.
Did anyone have
Oh.
stream failing on their bingo cards?
Oh, here we go. We've got a response from Thunderblade 989. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. But Carl. Okay,
Is that an engaged farm?
Shall we move on?
They can't see it in the stream. We'll move on. Yeah.
Move on from Bob Symes.
So, I asked the people in our beloved Discord to go into the last stream and pull out some memes. I got 2 responses. There were a few more, but they were not appropriate. So I thought I would share them. Now, nobody else knows what these are except for me. And
All right.
I want
Not being
everybody
coy at all.
every week to do the same thing. Send them to me, and they will be included in the news PowerPoint every week because it just needs to.
This is going to be hilarious next week. This is going to be absolutely amazing next week.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just
Dan,
don't
care
bother
to
watching
explain?
this. You should wait till next week. No. Honestly.
Oh, these things. Someone sent them to me in the work Discord, and yeah. Oh, just the irony is so.
This is what happens when you don't watch Bob Symes. This is rather good.
I think someone just killed Hilton. He's just put loads of laughing reacts.
I can see. Okay, so there you are.
Track planning with shag and a shaver, hand laying track on linoleum. Why lube and broad loom don't mix?
Actually, James, have you done hand laying track on linoleum?
No, it's next on my list.
Special report: DCC is still too expensive.
Okay, so I give these a solid 8 out of 10. So,
ready to rug train sets.
starting the little ruggers right from the ground up.
A solid carpet out.
And why is the best scale for running on the carpet NG7? Rob?
It's not. Absolutely, definitely not. Do you reckon my Tom Roll wouldn't stand a chance running on carpet?
Tom Roll
has trouble running on what I've got.
Tom Roll on your bingo cards.
Yes, get it in early.
The only scale for the carpet is Brio.
Yes, or that plastic Tommy stuff.
No,
I was going to say that, but I thought that was less relatable.
Yeah,
so I didn't have Brio, I had Tommy. But
hang on,
I had Tommy.
Rio.
Rob, has anyone told you your loco's going backwards?
Double N
running
Dave
in backwards.
says ON30 is the best for running on the carpet.
Right. Okay. Moving on.
Oh, right. What's next?
Oh God.
Just for the record, I can't see any of this.
Brilliant.
Well, that's another stream in the bin.
Yeah.
No, this doesn't count.
I'm done.
This is fine.
Whoa. No.
We've
no,
lost
no.
Dan. We've lost Dan. He's gone.
No trousers and all.
So Matt, you're probably no. Are you here?
That is so bad.
Names were anonymous, so now they're not. But
No.
That is so bad.
They're anonymous, as in anonymous. So the rest of the hosts have no idea. But I will say who made the memes, so they can ridicule them in the Discord later.
right.
Christ. I can't believe you've done this.
Oh, I can't share this one. Okay, I will share this
Gotcha.
one. I will share this one in the Discord.
Oh,
It won't let me
hey,
play
it's
it.
our gauge. It's fine. It's our
It
gauge.
won't let me play it.
Is it a video one?
It's a video meme.
Even the first frame is just delicious.
It won't let me play it. Let me hang on. Technical difficulties.
New software.
Lukash, if you're watching this, can you put it in the Discord for all the Discord members to see, please, and send it personally to Hilton for me?
Does it have sound?
Hilton's
It does
watching.
have sound.
Oh. Wow.
For some reason, I need access.
Why is Rob poking us all in the face?
I don't know why he's poking us all in the face. Rob, ow!
I'm trying to go onto the Discord to see the frickin' things. I only have one device. I'm not.
The memes.
Show me the memes, damn it.
With the memes.
What?
Okay.
What?
Really is like the Radcliffe.
Is that Ribena?
Memes. You need memes.
Red wine.
Oh,
I've got it.
Vimto.
I've got it.
Vimto?
Got it.
Are you ready?
Oh no. I don't think you're ever going to be ready for this. Just do it.
I'm going to have to catch up on this tomorrow.
I can't hear it.
It didn't. The sound didn't come through. Are you kidding me?
I didn't put the sound on, but I don't.
Please,
I don't
please
get
tell
it.
me. Please tell me the sound came through.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so glad. I feel like I avoided something with the skin of my teeth there.
No. I mean, it fits the bill. It's narrow gauge show, narrow gauge memes.
Oh, are you going to go again?
You try again. Gonna rewind.
It's just the start. It's brilliant. So thank you, Lukash, for that. It will be burned into my ears and retinas for all time.
It's like that meme. Are you ready for sleep? Yes, brain.
Yes, right.
Scotland.
No, it's like that one where it's like, oh, why can't I sleep? And then the brain goes,
Scotland forever.
That's the one. That's the one. That's what I was trying to describe.
Andrew Barclay Hilt is a thing.
Guys, Hilton says,
Andrew
please
Barclay
don't play
Hilton
that
is
again.
canon.
This is bad. Oh,
Can't believe I'm missing out on this. The one time I don't bring the
Don't play
tablet
this
up.
game, plays again.
Okay, that's enough, Hilt. I promise.
The one time I don't bring.
Yeah, Lukash, can you put that in the? Can you put that in the meme Discord channel, so Hilton can appreciate it for all time? I will have that face printed on a shirt in a week.
1 week.
Christ knows what your missus is going to think when you wear it.
What's for Scotland?
It's for Scotland. That's my contribution to
Scotland.
Scotch Week 2026. Just Hilton's face on Duncan on a t-shirt with a Scottish flag on the background. That's it.
I couldn't think of anything more Scottish.
Right?
I can.
And that's showing how much I know about Scotland, because I know about narrow gauge, and that's why we're here today.
I can think of something more Scottish. Gladiator 1, you'll go on my first whistle. That's more Scottish. Contestant 2, you'll go on my second whistle.
Although sadly, you've made me picture of what if Robot Wars was Scottish.
Activate.
That's the one.
Gladiator, ready. Contender, ready.
Narrow gauge hilt, are you ready?
Right, no, we need to stop. We need to stop with Scotch Week. It's over. It's in the bin.
I'm worried this is offending someone somewhere.
It's offending Hilton. It's offending Hilton. It's fine. This is what you get for being lazy. Right, Rob.
Hooterton Model Railway says that should come with a trauma warning.
Yeah.
Be warned. This is your warning. Okay.
Honestly, if
this is
your
warning,
because we're on a normal stream software, we would probably have put one up by now. But considering we're on this, you've got to make do with what we got, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a TSR, a temporary stream restriction.
It just feels like that episode of Only Fools and Horses where he goes, but Trig, you said that this thing was available 24 hours a day. And he goes, yeah, but not at night.
But anyway...
anyway...
James has gone really quiet.
James is trying to run this fucking thing. Oh, well, watershed at some point.
His mic's given up. He's gone.
Yeah, no,
he's gone.
Just talking to himself.
It's like he's in a little glass box, just like screaming at us, and he can't get through the glass. Like the next thing, if he just goes, "We'll get you out of there, James.
Let me in."
So, while we're waiting for James, has any of you two done any modelling this week?
Any better?
No, but I took it at... Oh.
There he is, he's back.
Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Hilton's getting angry.
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
Should we start from normal proceedings? James, have you done any modelling this week?
Yes, I fixed the night owl that Hilton finally sent to me.
Video of that on your Instagram, right?
Of it running, yes.
He's gone again. He's gone off his chair. Dan, have you done any modelling this week?
Yeah, I painted some stuff, and I managed to sell a train to James, which is I sold him one of these. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. An Oxford Dean Goods. James Dean
nice.
Goods. Yes, indeed. But probably he regrets buying it now because he should have bought a microphone instead. Have you done any modelling this week other than running in your ex? That sounds so wrong.
running your ex.
Gives a whole new meaning to I shouldn't tell the missus what I bought.
I've bought my ex.
Oh, Max, have you done any modelling this week?
Yes.
Anything you can talk about without invoking an NDA?
No.
Well then, I guess that's the end of that segment.
I built something, and yes.
To be honest, exactly the same here. I built some stuff at work. I can't talk about it, but you'll find out in the next newsletter, I guess.
Well, is it the thing with really sharp curves? Because that's on RM Web.
Is it? Yeah, it's the thing with really sharp curves.
Cool.
Yeah, I laid those. Turns out you don't need TT to turn in 2 feet. You can do it with 00. Who'd have thought?
Just do it with an 040, right?
Who needs a whole new scale?
You can do it better with narrow gauge.
Absolutely, totally. With a Quarry Hunslet in NG7.
Mm.
Yeah, so I remember the Corey Hunslet in 009 was shown off as running around. Is it a 2p piece?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I bet the inside wheels had a bit of wear after doing that for a bit.
I mean, it looks ridiculous, and there's a 2p piece.
Where's the stream gone?
Yes.
Oh, it's back.
Hey!
No, for a moment it just disappeared off the screen.
Yeah.
There's just a wee bit of a delay, you know. It's sort of, we can't.
Modelling on my end. I released a video last week.
Did you?
I've actually got some new stuff to build from SBJ, which he kindly sent me.
Was the video titled "I'm on 494 subscribers. Please subscribe to me to get me to 500"?
Hang on, it was 492 when I first came on here.
I felt generous, you know.
Oh dear.
Oh, so well. Oh, so
of all the professionalism just put in last week, and there's just none left. Sorry, James, that's really bad. It's not. I know that. Gremlins and technology and things.
Well, basically, it started off chaotic, and it's going to carry on chaotic for the next hour and a half.
StreamYard thought, Scottish, yeah, okay, narrow gauge. Now I'm out.
Oh. Do we need to grow the platform a bit more? We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. It's going absolutely swimmingly, chaps.
Can you hear me?
Max is like, I'm so glad I took 2 hours out of my day to do this.
There you go. Right. Anyway, you guys
there we
carry
go.
on.
Hi.
Hey.
No, if you look in the stream, he's putting this thing. It's in front of me. Oh, it's gone. Just at the moment, I compensated for it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Overcompensating.
Yeah, now I'm down in the bottom row again. Every time that James puts up his little menu, it goes in front of my face, so I kind of have to go around it.
Upwell and Onwards says, "Welcome to the madhouse, Max." Now, well, yeah. Not normally this mad.
Yeah,
so because Upwell and Onwards is upside down in the southern hemisphere, but on the other side of the spinning orb in nothingness, he's having breakfast at the moment, I'm assuming. So every time that we crack up and make him crack up, I just have this vision of him like snorting into his cornflakes and them all flying out the bowl with a load of milk.
Oh, the actual Rage comic of the guy spitting out his cereal. Actually, that.
Yeah, something like that.
These guys will never talk about model railways.
Right.
It's funny how we've not actually spoke about it.
No, get on with it.
Yeah. Come on.
So we're going to start with 5.5 because that's how narrow gauge modelling started, right?
Yeah, commercially, yes. In Britain.
America, Thunderblade.
Because
what's 5.5 known as? Is that known as 009, like to
average
for the rest of us?
No.
Oh, chance to educate.
So 5.5 came about because N-Gage was not yet born, and therefore 009 was not yet born. So all there was TT. Yes, TT in the 60s.
Proper TT. None of this 120 bollocks.
Oh, don't, no. Imperial 2.54, I can't handle that. Yeah, so it was 5.5 millimeters to the foot on 12 millimeter gauge track for 2 foot, 2'3", or if you were modelling 3 foot gauge, it's spot on for 16.5 gauge, known as 00.
And 16.5 is still quite a big scale, isn't it, these days? Because I've seen a few things on eBay, especially.
Quite
My wife
popular.
tells me so.
Yeah. So what models were available, Max? And what have you got?
Well, they started off the range with a bug box, a first-class bug box, and then the first locomotive was an England engine. And then there was a Dog Och and associated coaches, and double fairley, and finally a Linder with tender. Because what was a bit interesting about the range was that when the kits were made, they were all exactly how the prototype was at that time. So the England engine had straight frames, as Prince did in 1963. And there never was a Penryn version of Linder. It was only as it was on the Festiniog.
Wow. Do you have any of these?
Somewhere.
Oh,
He hasn't.
He's
done
not
the
like
prep.
you, Dan, having all these locos at the ready on your desk to show up to the camera.
but yesterday he showed us one.
Yes, and it's not made by Gem, and therefore none of them. So this is a Manning Wardle, which I've brought because I thought that would relate to Rob, since he has Manning
Does.
Wardles. But this one's
I had
sort of
to.
a more manageable size. It's not overwhelming, because the
It's
one
less
thing
chode.
about 5.5 is, thank you, pudding. So it means that the loading gauge is about the same size as 00 trains.
Now,
It's
does
more
it
of a
have,
manageable size.
when you want to put a decoder in it, do you have to take it apart and hardwire it properly instead of this stupid tray that comes out the smoke box?
Yes. The tray that ejects itself before you've even taken the locomotive out the box.
Oh, it's that eager to be chipped.
Yes.
Chip me, please, chip me.
Did you see that on the picture I put in the WhatsApp, Dan? Of mine when it turned up.
I didn't look.
This one turned up.
Oh,
But
wow.
the other one, the sound fitted, did not. It turned up in one piece.
Well, that would be because they took it apart
To sound fit it.
in Wales, put the chip in, and yeah.
Makes sense.
So what came after 5.5 then?
Commercially, that would have been 00 with Gem again.
So 009?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what were your experiments for 009? How much have you done with it?
Well, that's more recent. I mean, it's a shame because I did have a load of photos lined up, but I don't know if James can do that with the temporary stream restriction.
Hang on. We can
He's working on it.
out.
We just need to get through all of this stuff so we can get to the good stuff.
Oh, so so me talking about what I model is
Oh,
This is a
climaxing
comment
already.
saying there's a reason why we got Max on the stream. That is to talk about his experiences in this narrow gauge modelling.
Yes. So as I said at the beginning, I had the 00 train set, but all of my exposure to real trains was narrow gauge, and I just had to model it, but couldn't do it all myself. The kits and things, building chassis and whatnot, or using terrible performing N-gauge chassis at the time. So I just found at a show one day that this locomotive here, this was the first narrow gauge model that I had, which was made by Bachmann. It's a Climax, so the geared engine. You can see the cylinders and whatnot, and the drivetrain. So I didn't even know that this was going to be a thing, and then I saw it for sale at a show and thought, I've got to have that. So it all sort of went from there. Bought the locomotive, bought the string of log cars behind it, and then it's, need to move on and build a layout for it.
Amazing.
It's an interesting compulsion, isn't it? You buy a loco in whatever scale or theme, and you're like, now I have to have an entire layout. I have to devote an entire room to this one model.
Well, that was the point of the photo, because it shows how it builds and builds. Because so it was timed. The show was just after my birthday, and most of my presents were purely cash based. So it's together. It's just like, I can do this. At the time, I wouldn't normally just impulse buy something completely different. But as I say, it was already on my mind anyway. Got a model narrow gauge.
What pictures have we got up on there at the moment?
I can still do. Oh, no, it's gone.
Oh,
That's a nice little layout. That is. That's
So
very
this
good,
was the
very nice
first
shunting
layout.
model.
Yeah. So this was a recycled baseboard from my brother's train set, sort of cut down the middle and made into an L shape. So this photograph was actually taken after just before it was going to be dismantled. But yeah, a couple of photos of that to show you sort of the beginnings. So the track is just the standard Pico 016.5 range. The buildings.
is that standard gauge track in the background?
Yes. So if we can go on to the next photo. I don't know how much of a delay I've got on this. Yeah, so you can see the standard gauge. And also the water tower. Can you guess where the water tower's from? Does anyone recognise that one?
Oh, I know. One for the Thomas the Tank Engine fans, I believe.
The Trains with Faces fans will know.
The Trains with Faces. Yes. Where's Boggles Kelly when you need him?
He'll be along shortly, I'm sure.
Oh, hang on, it's disappeared again. God, there we go.
Well, we can keep moving.
Let's move on, shall we? There we go. Next one.
ON30.
Yeah, which I'm really tempted by. Like, stupidly tempted by.
What, ON30?
Yeah.
It's great, apart from it's not made anymore.
Yeah, and also the brass
every year they go,
stupidly
we're going to make this.
It's amazing how much ON30 stuff is actually available in the UK, though. Like the American, like various American locomotives. You've even got a couple of Baldwins and stuff that are on there at the moment.
Or it might be
there was a bit of a boom of it, to the point where it was an amusing story in that I'd not really done proper railway modelling before this. So I joined the local model railway club, and me and my dad walked in like, right, let's learn. How do you do proper modelling and such? I mean, my dad already knew. He's got a very advanced layout. And then there it was in the club room. Somebody else's ON30 layout. It had already been done and dusted. But theirs was set on the West Coast, and because the West Coast is generally where people drawn to with narrow gauge in the United States because of Colorado and whatnot. But I decided to go to the east side of everything. So this was sort of set in West Virginia, where a lot of logging operations went around. Climax is, of course, being designed for logging extraction. So this photograph is of the second ON30 layout. I built this for an extended project at school. Bit of a hack there. So it was the case that if you did a write-up and showed all your progress and your thinking behind it all, then you got a qualification of no value after it. So that was something.
So you just got a GCSE in ON30?
It might have been an A-level, actually. The first
ON30?
Yeah. A sort of, is it foundation A-level or something?
That's brilliant.
Just the first
I
year.
can get behind the qualification.
But it's a really good hack if anyone can. I don't even know if they still run the program, because basically you can't be told off for modelling then. It's no, I'm doing my homework.
That works. Oh. So
like an awesome blooming qualification to get.
Occasionally checking on the chat, so the screen will drop out. Right, let's move on, shall we?
So did your dad went and built a narrow gauge layout as well, didn't he? In the garden?
Yes, he's got the garden railway, but also he partly built an exhibition layout in G, White Leaf Cross.
It was sounds like somewhere I used to live.
Somewhere you used to live, yeah.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't run on it.
This wouldn't run on it.
No. Maybe later on, but it was mainly supposed to be set of the. Hang on. When there was a GoFundMe saying "Pants for Dan," no, please, I need to settle this. When there was the GoFundMe "Pants for Dan," it didn't mean pantographs.
Oh.
Dan, you were supposed to spend it on pants, not trains.
But the pantographs.
I mean, technically it works. It's dual pantographs. I can't believe.
I guess in Britain they must call them trouser graphs.
All right, what's this? One of my headphones
like
has died.
See, they make other.
Max has lost it.
Just wait until you see the ones with motors on them, because the LGB 442s and all of that, they've got the electric pantographs. So when you drive it in each direction, it actually.
I know all about this because my dad's obsession. So to be clear, this isn't mine. It actually belongs to my father. It's currently harboured here because he hasn't picked it up yet. but he's been WhatsApping me videos of his G-scale stuff with the pantographs like Max is describing. So you have something that comes along and it stops, and then the pantograph, and then the other one goes up. In fact, actually, yeah. So imagine this is red and much bigger, and it will come along like this and stop, and then go, and then go the other way.
I'm so glad I
It's all
saw
good
that.
fun. There's a gift for everybody.
This is going great. Yeah,
right.
King Ori, next meme format. There you go.
Pants up and pants down.
Pants for Dan.
Rob, pick it up.
What have we got in the picture here, Max?
We've got the photograph again. So you saw the layout that I built for school or whatever. Being a through station, it had to have fiddle yards going off at the end, but then I started scenicking them. So this is what you do when you lay your track using the standard gauge 00 stuff, and then go, oh, hang on, this needs to be narrow gauge. So I covered it in DAS and ballast, and you can't tell, right?
Absolutely not. No, it looks really good.
But this is the Fawny that Bartman used to make for Owen 30, so a 244, quite well known in Maine.
And Brecon.
Yeah, they're currently making one of those at Brecon, aren't they?
TBC Brecon.
TBC Brecon.
TBA.
Yeah.
Moving
I'd
on.
imagine people in Maine are quite jealous because there's more Maine stuff in Brecon, or about to be.
So there is in Maine.
Yeah, because there's no prairies in Maine 262s.
What are they doing with their lives?
So, and then this photo is of the same area, but I scratch built a big paper mill to cover up the fiddle yard for the incline branch line that you saw in the back of the photograph.
You said, Rob, that he'll be along in a minute. He's just turned up. Buggles Kelly.
Is he here now?
Tom.
Yeah, he is here now.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey!
He says,
Welcome to the chaotic stream.
he says, evening all.
Chaotic screen.
I'm guessing he's been to the pub again for not a sandwich.
In fairness, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
Especially today.
I could do with a not a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could do with a not a sandwich.
An
on
otter
then, Max, carry
sandwich.
on, mate.
Not a sandwich.
Ignore
Not
Dan.
a sandwich.
Next slide, please.
God. Next
For those
slide,
that get that
please.
reference.
Ooh, Grandpuff.
Ooh, hello.
Whatever happened? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry about the delay. Yes. So Dan brought it up too early, but this is 5.5mm scale. This is the gem kit of the England that I was talking about.
Oh.
So I got to a point where it sort of matured with the Owen 30 modelling, built a few custom locomotives, made the scenery, even sort of bodged my own track in places. And I thought, right, so I know how to do this railway modelling, Lark. I should go back to what started it all, the Festiniog Railway. That's where my interest in railways, the narrow gauge, comes from. And of course, no one was ever going to produce British narrow gauge ready to run. That was never going to happen. So it didn't matter what scale I chose. I was going to be building it all myself. You see how that went wrong? So
It took a while, though. It took a while for it to actually take off.
Yes. Well, that's yeah. So this is the gem one, but the range was eventually taken over by a chap called Malcolm Savage, and he upgraded lots of the kits. So the next picture will show an example of his kits.
Are they less Minecrafty?
Next slide, James.
Yeah, they're more.
Sorry, I'm trying not to cough.
Quarryman's coaches.
Right. Yes. So
The reveal before the reveal.
Yeah, quite. This is embarrassing, isn't it? The what is it? Oh, yes, it is the photo I sent in. Right, good. So these are examples of the kits made by Malcolm Savage. Because the gem kits, as I was saying, it was very much as it was at the time. So these vehicles were actually plywood, just all sheet plywood in the 60s. So only much later kits came out of them, as they would have been in the Victorian times, because the real ones were built from 1885 as vertical planking.
I like that they're not green.
But yeah, actually, that was a tricky one because the shade, because of that is the color that those two vehicles are today. Because it's not quite red, it's not quite brown, it just sort of getting that happy medium. Was an interesting challenge. But yes, they're not green. Yeah.
They're in fact brown.
So as you could tell, making the kits, because nobody was going to make these ready to run. Nobody. You wouldn't be able to just buy these off the shelf.
Never
ever.
Just going back to the Small England, King Ori is saying that that Prince has been announced for the Greatest Gathering, if that's of interest.
Yes, it has. Because it ended up on BBC News about how they're building a narrow gauge railway in Derby.
Oh,
I believe. Is it Tranquil? Is it Tranquil from Statfold Barn that's going as well?
Yeah, try and kill number 4. That's how it's pronounced.
One, yeah.
Is Prince actually going to go there looking like Prince, or is he going to be hidden underneath a coat of green, hideous green?
It's going as green.
That is how Prince looks.
Coaches.
And any other colour is fake news.
It would have been so much better to have Hugh Napier go.
Why?
Because at least it's not green.
Okay, I'm sure they can
swiftly on.
I'm sure they could send Lilla, and then that'd be a happy medium. Everybody would be.
I thought Lilla was green.
Exactly.
Or has it been painted black now?
No. The temporary livery applied in about 2016 is still.
Yeah, it was 2016.
In fairness, the mainline Hunslets always look really good in green, in lime green especially, because I think they just look the part.
Get out! Get out!
Lined green is better than just plain green. And that's good for a GWR, man.
Black
Midnight blue.
Hunslet. Yeah.
Midnight blue or black? Black. Black locos matter.
No.
This comment has been hidden.
Too many of them.
Too many of them? What
yes.
black locos are you thinking of? In narrow gauge?
Standard gauge ones.
Yeah, it's a different set of comments for narrow gauge. You shuffle the deck and then different things apply.
That's why we're talking about narrow gauge tonight, because it's a completely different set of rules. Nothing, you just forget everything.
In all fairness, I think the only black locomotives are in narrow gauge are probably all like diesel Hunslets and things like that, aren't they? Like old quarrying diesel.
1, 3, 4, and 87. The engines that matter.
Yep.
1265.
Not anymore.
It's not black anymore.
No.
It better not be coming back in green.
Sorry,
what's that big massive unit that's at Landfair and Welshbourne Landfair Railway that's currently in black? That massive freaking unit.
What, 85?
Sir Trafaldwin.
That's the one, yeah. That looks amazing.
It sounds amazing as well.
Loco. I'm going to have to go there in the summer, I think.
Do it. Have you been before?
I've been there twice before, but I was behind Zillertal on both of those occasions.
Very rateable. I love the Zillertal because it's a spark arrestor was like a bass bin. It just made it more loud and more deep.
It sounded amazing. It's going up Golfer Bank, isn't it? That's the one just outside Welshpool Station, isn't it?
The steepest gradient on the line, yes.
Yeah, sounded absolutely amazing. It sounded phenomenal to the point where my daughter went, "Wow, Daddy, that sounds brilliant."
Well, when I went there last year, I went to the gala and they had a mixed train with the 3 Pickerings and some wagons. And I was on the front balcony and literally even got to Welshpool and had to be like, because it was that loud.
So you've just literally, you've made my brain digress with that, because you told us just before the stream you were having trouble to get your daughter to go to sleep before being able to make it to the stream. And I just had this vision of you having bought her like Zillertal bedspread and going, these are too stimulating. So she'll never sleep.
Put away the lily.
You guys are going to love this story purely because it is quite wholesome. One summer, I took a couple of days off work and I actually took her to Welshpool. It was her second railway visit. And she was probably 6 months, if that. And we went to Welshpool, but sorry, no, we got the train at Welshpool, went to Landfair, and on the way back, I was stood on the balcony with her in my arms. She was enjoying the trip. She obviously she wasn't. She's a baby. She didn't really know what was going on around her. But I looked down moments later with the chugging of the engine and the whistle going off, just coming out of Landfair, and she was fast asleep in my arms with the rocking of the train, and hearing the engines like beat in the background. She loved it.
Wow.
I like how James read the room and just abandoned the photos. That's good.
No, because if
that was the right thing to do, but I just
I'll go back to the photos when we get back to them. You
No,
know?
that's what I mean. That was good.
I'm just in awe of all these stories, you know, because I actually haven't visited a narrow gauge line. I haven't visited a narrow gauge heritage site, so you know, all I see is
James.
on YouTube.
I'll tell you what, mate. When you come over next time for a serious amount of time, you and I have got to meet up anyway, haven't we?
Oh, we will be.
So
yes.
we will go. we will go to Wales and we'll go on a proper narrow gauge.
Do I have to go to Wales?
Yes, because that's where the Brecon Mountain is.
I've been to Brecon.
But in fairness, I think
I've been to Brecon.
You've been to the Brecon Mountain.
I have climbed Brecon, or the mountains.
Top
hills in
anti.
Brecon.
Well, in fairness, I think Brecon might even be a midway between you and I. In that respect, because it's in South Wales, isn't it? So it's going to be closer to you than, because it takes me 4 hours to get. It'd take me 4 hours to get there, pretty much.
Take you 4 hours to get to Brecon.
Anyway. Well, 3.5, something like that.
How slowly do you drive?
I was going to say.
I'm guessing it's going all the way around the motorway. That's what I was thinking.
If you go all the way around the motorway, it'll be about 2 and a bit hours.
That's going into London and then back out again.
Last time I took a flatbed down that way, it took 4 hours to get there. So.
Wow. But they've finished the Heads of the Valleys road now, so it's a bit faster.
That's if you're against going to North Wales, which is where all the narrow gauge railways tend to be.
And why would you be against that?
Yeah, I mean it's great. I mean you got the Welsh Highland and the Festiniog, which is the best narrow gauge railway in the country.
No, they were the best. Now they don't run complete trains, and every engine's hidden behind a headboard.
Controversial.
Yeah, all right. But they've got the NG15, which is an absolute powerhouse.
Oh, if it's a powerhouse, then why not put more than about 5 coaches behind it?
We'll get there.
They put 9 behind it on a loading test run.
Yeah, it hasn't got to port yet, so don't hold your breath.
It has.
That's not true.
It has.
Has it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
They've got a video of it on YouTube, mate.
Because I remember one of the group chats, I was just like, "Stop everything! This is the news." On that day,
this is narrow gauge news, isn't it? NG15 has pretty much dominated narrow gauge news recently, hasn't it? Because it's literally it's the most powerful local.
I don't know. Under my rock, it's been
the Welsh Highland now as well, isn't it?
No.
Back to
It's
topic.
not Garrett.
No, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not as powerful as a Garrett.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's got half as many cylinders.
More powerful.
It's variety. That's what we need. Variety.
Yeah, that as well, yeah.
As we may show at some point.
But it's nice to see a big narrow gauge tender engine on the Welsh Highland.
Yeah.
Right. Hang
Shall
on.
I run through my photos and then we can get on properly?
Didn't someone just announce this in 009?
Yes, I beat them to it.
How?
And I didn't call it a Sirdar at the time either.
Sirdar?
Yeah, Sirdars have short, stubby tanks, like
NG1s
and things. Good.
Just picking on them now. That's not.
But Diana, yeah. So the photo of this is sort of showing the real adaptability that I had to have for making things in 5.5. So the chassis of those 3. So the middle engine is actually 9mm gauge to represent 18-inch. So is a sort of model based on Jack, the Hunslet. So it's a Hunslet, but not a quarry Hunslet. They do in fact exist. So you've got
different Hunslets.
Yeah, Diana on the left. That's made from a Helling motor bogie. So I had the 00HO gauge one and pushed the wheels in, and therefore gave me extended axles to put the cranks on, which is different. And then the Baldwin on the right was made out of a TT Billabong chassis, which was originally an 080 configuration. So I dropped the front wheels out and put some trailing wheels in, and so it made it a 2260. And when I told someone at the point, they were very disappointed to hear this, because everybody knows the Baldwin, it's a 460 wheel arrangement. But it turns out that I'd sort of preempted what Bartman did and how they did their 009 Baldwin 460.
Fair play.
You showed them how it was done.
Well, for sharp curves, because when you've got four wheels at the front, that's always the tricky bit. The cylinders are in the way for super tight curves anyway.
Well, that's the rest. I suppose that's the reason why a lot of like 00 gauge stuff tends to have minimum radius on some of their locomotives, because the bogey does get in the way.
Or half
so
a cylinder.
Is the grey one meant to be Diana?
Yes.
Ah, how does it handle tunnels?
I don't know yet.
Oh, Dan.
I don't believe it's been to France, so that's not an issue.
Oh, God. Right, moving on.
I like how when there was the new segment of the Ready to Run Diana, that wasn't raised, but no.
It's fine. If it breaks, you could always just run Charles on its own.
Do you get the feeling he's just totally against you this stream, just to try and call you out?
Oh, I expected it. This is Dan. The whole dynamic.
Anyway, onto the coffee pot.
Yes, so this is not a De Winton, or the what we're not sure was a De Winton. So ran on the Gorsethi junction, Porthmadog and Gorsethi Junction Railway, as opposed to the Gorsethi Tramway, which was a completely different gauge. So that was a scratch-built chassis out of brass and a 3D printed design. So actually, the bit that I've skipped on this story is the picture of the wagon that people saw. Was you've had the kits in 5.5 for the locomotives and the coaches, because generally they're more than one of the same design, but the wagons on the Festiniog were all slightly different. There was about 200 non-slate carrying vehicles in the heyday. So because I'm a CAD engineer by trade, I sort of asked, well, can I be using this to make model trains? And was given the go ahead. So design.
You and I both, mate.
So yeah, I ended up designing this
lovely
locomotive.
I just want to say one thing. Upwell and Onwards has commented, "Damn, I'm dying for a coffee." He literally put it in the chat just as you started talking about it. I don't know if he meant to say coffee pot.
No,
or you just inspired him to want a drink. Yeah,
it's like yeah.
He was trying to get us away from the Max bashing and onto topic.
You should be working.
Well, it's a teapot if it's going to run in Wales, isn't it? I don't.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you'd have thought so.
So now we're on to the serious stuff.
I'm
so
going
this
to
is
hijack
back
this.
to 0 and 30.
This might be my favourite photo of the one that you sent.
Okay.
Really nice.
I think this might be the favourite photo. I love the scene completely, and that little saddle tank at the back is lovely.
It's not
Actually,
little.
Yes.
It's not little. It bends bridges.
So when
it's chunky.
So when I said about building up my skills with 0 and 30, I was mainly referring to that engine actually. So that is a Bachmann 280, but with a backwards miniatures kit, conversion kit to make it into the saddle tank. So it was a injected resin saddle tank and then the rear of the cab, and you could make it into a tank engine, which was something that I really wanted, but Bartman never made. Was one of the sort of types of locos you would see on logging railways was the big chonky tank engine.
Fantastic. No,
That's all the tank engines America tend to have, though, is big chunky things with massive saddle tanks.
Isn't it?
I actually have a book somewhere referring to them as double enders. Was basically when they designed an engine that could go backwards. It was a double ender, which is a very strange name, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you'd expect a cab on each end if it's a double ender.
Or like a tram.
Yeah, pretty much.
This Mrs.
Go on,
Kindly.
Dan.
I'm more fascinated by the dual gauge.
Yes.
I have always wanted to
thinking
model
about
dual
that.
gauge. Like, it's always
So-
fascinated me.
One of the interesting parts I find, anyway, is when you model standard gauge layouts, quite often people say, when they're not modeling the strict prototype, they'll say, this was a branch line off somewhere, this was a secondary main line, it all connected up, it all was taken over by British Railways in the end. But narrow gauge, you don't have that option. So to sort of make the layout believable, you really need to sort of show a reason for it to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So railways were often built, first instances, to harbours, having the ships, or to meet the standard gauge. So that was something I really wanted on this, the third 30 layout, which was to integrate the standard gauge. So that track is all hand laid.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
I may have to approach you when I go to do my dual gauge into my loco shed at some point.
Well, this was a bit of a cheat because there's no points. It's literally you've got the narrow gauge and then the third rail sort of tacked onto the side of it, and then that.
Hey, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
So the idea is both
here,
narrow gauge
it?
and standard gauge. Yeah, so both narrow gauge and standard gauge can use that. The platform on the left.
It definitely looks the part, though.
Yeah, it
That's
really
fascinating.
Does. Really
amazing.
What have we got next? Nice little bridge scene.
So this is sort of moving round the layout that I last had. So after sweeping around that curve in the background, it went up onto this bridge here, which is a Bartman. I forget the range they called it. It was basically they made a range of buildings to go with 3-rail stuff.
Plasticville.
Plasticville, very good.
Plasticville.
Yes.
That sounds awful.
I can't remember what it was made of.
I don't know. Any idea? Thunderblade.
Obviously, resin.
Maybe it was die-cast. That's all the rage, isn't it?
It just makes me disappointed that Scenecraft is called Scenecraft and not Resinville.
Resinville,
right? But no, seriously, look at the the trees are convincing. The earthwork, the rocks, it's all fantastic.
And also, if you look closely at the bridge, it's bowed ever so slightly thanks to that tank engine.
Added realism.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see some of the tracks they run American stuff over these days. You know, having a Boeing bridge is nothing.
I mean, I didn't realise it was the tank engine, Dan. I thought it was the Garrett that did it.
No, the Garrett's fine. It spreads the weight.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole point of Garrett's. Whereas,
Tom is weighing in, saying that he really liked it when Max used to show his layout on the old live stream. Max was the only one of us who had a working layout to present on the stream.
Well, I'm back with everyone else now. Yeah, I've moved since this, and it's not been.
So you don't have an active layout?
Sort of, but we'll get to that.
Okay, right. Moving swiftly forward. I did like this scene. I really did like this scene as well. The incline, the slight incline, the decline down to the. This is fantastic modelling.
Slight.
Yeah. So
slight.
One of the things is to make it look super narrow gauge, it needed a bridge, which you saw, tight curves and cuttings, and then a gradient. So the gradient of the main line that you just saw over the bridge is 1 in 25, or 4%, as the American calls it. And I believe that incline on is 1 in 16. It was basically working out what was the steepest gradient that I could get before the engine struggle with the length of train that I needed to operate, which worked out quite well. So for anyone that doesn't know, the geared engines. So at the beginning we saw the Climax. This is a 3-truck Shay. It was all making a design for a steam locomotive that geared down to get more torque out of the cylinders, a bit like putting your car in first gear. So very slow machines, top speeds of 15 to 20 miles an hour.
And does that gearing actually translate well down into model form? Does it?
Yes. So all of the Bartman locomotives are more or less prototypically driven. So actually from the transmission shaft on the side in the case of the Shay, in the middle on the Climax and the Heisler.
Okay. Interesting.
But probably doesn't have as much torque as the real thing might because of weight.
Yeah.
Controversial, I think, among our host group. I really like the Shays. I don't know what it is about them. I really like them.
The galloping typewriters.
Like,
so, actually, if you move on to the next picture, because that's so. Unless there's anything I want to raise about this one, but
no, because you've got.
So this is it going over the bridge, so you can get a better view of the 3-truck Shay. So this was a custom 3D print design that I did because Bartman made a 2-cylinder Shay on 2 trucks that was only 14 ton, quite lightweight, and I wanted sort of something heavier, but most of the prototypes ended up really quite large because you remember this is ON30, not ON3 as it probably should be for the prototypes. So I designed my own to fit the HO chassis because Bartman had made a 3-cylinder 3-truck Shay. And one of the features I really like about this engine, which sort of nothing to do with me, is that it's sound fitted, and one of the options of the Soundtrax decoder is to have the correct 3 cylinders. So as it thunders up the gradient.
Was that factory fitted sound? Because I had a Baldwin 460 for a short while over Christmas,
so say about
and
5
the sound
minutes.
functions. It sounded awful.
No, so yeah, I know the one you mean. So that how I got into DCC was through the locomotives like that. Was Bartman produced sound fitted models with the decoders made by Soundtrax in Colorado, and the specs were really stripped back. I don't really know if there was a cost saving in the end, but I remember talking to the boss of Soundtrax, and there were sort of comments on the features that could have done, but they were told not to. So yeah, the one you saw was a sort of a basic version, but also they upgraded. So that was the Tsunami 1 in effect, just called Tsunami, and then they released the Tsunami 2.
I remember it being called that. Yeah.
So the Tsunami 2 was much more advanced and still is one of my favorite decoders. And Dan's holding up his NA because that's got quad.
So when I first got this, I put a Tsunami 1 in it, and then a long time later, I put a Tsunami 2. And one of the best features about it is that because it's when you put the decoder in, you set it up by running it on the level, I believe it is, Max, and it basically learns how much motor drag is light engine on the level. So as soon as it hits a gradient, the chuff becomes heavier automatically because it's working harder. So it actually compensates for climbing up gradients and pulling heavy trains itself.
So
you see, Lionheart stuff tends to do that as well.
Well, Soundtrax were doing this 20 years ago. They call it dynamic digital exhaust. And yeah, as explained, it sort of means that when it's going uphill, you'll get the more labour-intensive chuff, and when it's coasting, you'll hear the sound of it shutting off. And then you can
take it
two settings. So one is off the back EMF, and then the other is off the throttle. So it will do the same tonal change if you whack the throttle up to maximum and then shut it off. So it really enhances the driving experience, which was a big reason of why I wanted this larger layout.
So you can actually put the sounds and the locomotives to the test properly, and actually make it sound like they're actually having to work.
Yeah. So this is the top of the gradient, the logging camp.
Quickly, sorry, I need to interject. So we have a quick question because we've been ignoring the chat, and there have been. So Aaron is asking what our favorite narrow gauge line is.
Ooh. for me, although I've never been there, just seeing the locomotives has made me really appreciate the Linton and Barnstaple in its older form, not in its newer form.
Reaction.
No, I mean it's in its historical form. If you've seen like the landmarks of that railway,
when the locomotives look like this,
exactly,
it's a flattened pancake.
Okay, Prido.
Okay, fine. So Ellen B for Rob. Right, Dan.
Oh, I have a belief that it's the best steam railway in the country at the moment. Anyway, there we go.
I knew that was coming.
Fond of it.
Yeah, it's
solid.
Basically, if you go to a railway where you can get a cup of tea in multiple places on the railway reliably while the train's running, and they don't close the gift shop before the punters have left, it's a win.
But mainly it's ON30 IRL.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't that? Wouldn't it be smaller than?
It's not just that. My experiences are friendly staff, clean facilities, not too badly priced, a good varied ride with lots of scenery, not too long.
This stream was sponsored by Brecon Mountain Railway.
Yeah. Put it this way, the Vale of Rydal could learn a lot from their sister railway.
That's why they're partnered up, I think, is to learn from each other.
Max?
Yeah.
It's got to be between two, I think, really, narrow it down to two. So one is the one that I have seen and done, and that is the North Wales Narrow Gauge Railways, which, of course, was DNAS to what is now called Ryddi.
The better half.
Well, yes, everybody knows it as the Welsh Highland Railway because that's what it became eventually. But I just really liked how the locomotives and the rolling stock looked in the Victorian era with the North Wales Narrow Gauge Railway. And then the other one is the Victorian Narrow Gauge in Australia. Shout
out to the Southern Hemisphere.
I was waiting for
wrong answer. What's your favourite? Wrong.
What's your favourite? It's just like waiting for pantographs again for you to talk about the Portsmouth, Beth Garrett and South Snowdon.
Oh yes, of course, Dan. My favourite railway is the one that never existed.
But you made a model of the loco.
Yes, and I want to make more because it's obviously modelling all the different scales now.
Have you got it? Have you got it to hand?
No.
Oh, what's the point of inviting you on?
I was hoping you were going to provide the picture of it running on your layout.
The one engine, that one more model out of you.
well, as in the only time it ran with
really
authentic stock was on your layout.
Okay, I will see if I can find a picture and send it across to Jay.
This has turned into a Max and Dan slagging match,
as it was always going to be. If you were here yesterday, this is nothing. This is nothing.
It's all for show. We get on fine, really.
Yeah.
Like it. Look, we're all English here. We understand that the British term of liking somebody is just taking the piss out of them.
Not taking the piss. Sometimes there's genuine disappointment because.
And James, you can look around you all you like.
Like
you know
the
exactly
BB and SSR not existing. That was the disappointment. We never got an electric railway in North Wales.
And you won't for a very long time because they were going to do it along the Wales and Borders route, but that's been thwarted now as well.
Darn you!
I mean, I say there never was one, wasn't there? Like the Colwyn Bay tramway or something. But yeah.
Well,
hang on.
He's googling like mad down there.
Is the Orme tramway electrically operated?
It's cable, and I believe it's got a collector for supply. I've never been.
So that counts.
Does it? If it's not powered by electricity?
I mean, you said it's got cable, and it's got so does cable not?
Yeah, the cable.
It's by a cable, but is that cable electrically driven?
Like San Francisco. Oh god.
God,
See, this is why I brought it up, because it was no electric railway in North Wales. No, everyone's going to correct me now. Shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
Where King Ori is asking, where was that railway with the saddle tank that was converted to electric?
Oh yes. Well, it was at Leckworth, if you say it right. Yes.
Lechwed.
Leckworth. Slate Quarry in the Bliner area, where there were two Bagnalls converted into electric locos, which were also three-phase. So conspiracy theory time, was it three-phase electric off abandoned equipment from the PB and SSR?
Dave is saying it's now at Stratfold Barn rotting in the shed.
That is correct. I wouldn't have put it like that, but that is correct.
Matt is saying that his favourite NG railway is the Kiln Line because it's the only one he's seen.
Yay! Well, thanks, Matt. Thank you, mate.
I unfortunately I haven't seen any either, so I have to go with home turf. So there is a narrow gauge line here. I'm not going to butcher the name, but I will send some stuff in the Discord. It's the Czernochromska. It
didn't sound like you butchered it.
I don't know what the... Well, yeah, of course, if you don't know the language, you wouldn't know. I have no idea what gauge it is. I know that it has both steam and diesels, and I drive past it every time I go and visit the in-laws, and it's literally the next village over when I turn off to go the right way.
I'd
never managed to make it there.
2'6", but I don't know.
I mean, I can.
Don't put P in.
Oh dear. James.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
I've sent pictures of the amazing engine that Max made.
Where?
And a Manning Waddle.
A Manning Waddle.
Where did you send
Manning
them?
Waddle in. But
where did you send them?
I sent it through Discord to you. In a DM.
Straight into my DMs, okay.
But back to my pictures. Oh, no.
No, hang on.
I'm gone.
Hang on, I have to... Right, hang on.
Hide the porn.
It's so disjointed, it's unbelievable.
So this is my denied.
I hope you've enjoyed being a guest today, Max.
Is that better?
Absolutely.
Is it showing? I can't.
Oh,
tell
Russell. It has.
That's not true.
Yes. But the little thing behind it.
It's got an electrical
actually,
pickup
mug
that's
choice.
Is
I
that
had
a
to
clip?
choose between.
Is
It's
that one of those
amazing.
paper clips?
How did you make it, Max?
Sorry, conflicting audio. I can hear myself, etc.
Yeah, same here.
Oh.
So it's not my fault then. It's from the Nomi tram. Because I couldn't decide how to make the collectors, and then decided to take it to Dan's and thought, well, it's got to have something. There you go. Ah, that's better.
Is it?
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It's still
No,
bouncing.
it's not fixed anything.
Right.
How is it for the people viewing? I don't know. They get double
It
audio.
just makes me think of
Talk about your
DVA
stuff.
5.
Oh, don't be silly. It's EA Sports.
E.
Oh. Talk about your stuff.
So we've gone through an interdimensional portal, and now we're back at my layout.
Oh, Christ.
Wow.
So, like I said about the tank engine conversion for the 280, this was my own.
God, I hate this. Can we go back to this?
And here's a graph. We love graphs.
Look at this graph.
Look at this graph.
Can we
Yeah.
go back to
All
the
propagandas have a
StreamYard,
graph.
please?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a gala until there's
David
delays.
doesn't want to show
I
your
can see
picture,
James
so-
losing it in his chair. He's just like,
just want to go to bed.
Just got an apology.
We can't hear you, James. You're on mute.
I know because it was double going. It was double feeding over. I just want to go to bed.
We've only got half an hour left.
Come on, we can power through this, guys. We can make it. Come on.
Why is the rum always gone?
It's okay. My wine's gone too.
So this is the thing that bent the bridge.
No, it's a different engine.
It's a different one. So this was converting the Bartman 2662 tender engine into a tank engine. Because anyone familiar with the large-scale range, they made just this.
Hang on, just a second.
And a lot of
we've had a comment in the thread from Thunderblade 989. He says, "Oh dear," again.
Again.
Oh dear, yeah, again. Also, King Ori says, "Oh, I thought it was a bloomin' brake van. I was thinking, why are we looking at Russell? Well, why not look at Russell?
Why not look
Russell's
at Russell?
A great engine.
I had to decide between Gowrie mug or Russell mug, and the Russell mug is actually of that model, not the real one.
Oh, yeah. I gave you that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, yeah, forgot I gave you that one.
Are we at the point in just off topic a second? Are we at the point in this stream now where if Thunderblade actually comments in the chat, he gets priority over everybody else?
Yes.
Just because of Hilton.
That's happening.
Hilton decided he's pronounced like that, and it's fun. Fun trumps fairness. If things are fun, they get done.
We got thus far with no one saying Trump.
Oh yeah, it means something different now. Kiss the ring.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've enjoyed this professional stream,
don't forget to like and subscribe and buy a Tesla.
Anyway, back on topic.
That was last week.
That was last week.
Back on topic, everybody. Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
go on.
This is the tank engine. It's got two cross compound at Westinghouse pumps. There you go. There's a fun fact. So again, building the model to suit the decoder, because one of the options is all the noises.
Also, it has 6 small wheels times thrice. No, minus
thrice. That would be a triplet,
Malay, isn't it?
That'd be a triplet.
Oh, sorry.
Tuppence.
Tuppence. Yes, 6 wheels tuppence.
Just the tup. Yes, please. Next slide, please.
Keep going. We've got 25 minutes left. Come on,
Hilton.
everybody.
Look at that. Does Hilton know what it is?
It's a Garrett.
It's a Garrett with a water tank behind it.
He's finally back.
Yes.
He's been sat in the background doing nothing, and he's finally commented asking where the prawn train is.
I've even brought it to the desk so we can marvel at the.
Look at
Oh!
Fucking prawn.
It's so big. How close can I show it before it takes up the whole screen?
If you put it up right,
That's
we
what
can
she
all
said.
see it.
Do you know what that needs? It
falling
needs.
apart. There you go.
That is gorgeous. I need one.
It needs one of these.
Yes.
A
did say that.
A blurry person.
It needs
Oh wait, that's just Dan.
Max,
in Garrett
if you
driving
happen to
mode.
Want to sell that? You let me know, yeah.
Nah. You're all right. So the fun story behind this was, of course, there was a bit of an event in 2020 and 2021. And yeah, the event sort of shook us all a bit, didn't it? And I sort of thought to myself, well, if I could buy anything at all, money not, what would it be? And it'd be one of those Garretts. They're amazing because Backwards Miniatures made, I think, about 50 of these ready to run. So they released a kit, but these were made professionally in the Far East. So yeah, I thought, I'd really love one of those. But doesn't matter because nobody's got one for sale. And then someone did. What do I do now?
Don't need money anyway. Money's fake. It's just a concept. Garrett's are real.
Garrett's are very real.
Garrett's are real. Money isn't.
Garrett's are real. They can't hurt you. Oh wait, no, they can hurt you.
So then, of course, I bought that for fair chunk of money, and then had to fit it with sound, of course. So it's got the
Of course.
the what's known as an earth mover, a Tamban speaker in the rear, and another one in the front. So
Is it loud as frick?
it can be. I don't tend to have
This is
set up loud.
This is the kind of model that you should take to an exhibition, put it on somebody else's layout, turn it full blast just to annoy other people in the exhibition,
And just lean on the horn.
Just lean on the horn
Or the whistle.
Chimey goodness.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of
I want the
reluctant to
Garrett.
see what's
I want the
next. 'Cause it
Garrett.
can't
Look.
be as good.
Well,
it's a
foreshadowing.
Oh,
But it's
there
also
appears to be a fat man in the background.
Look at that.
Oh, he has clearly dined well, yeah?
Yeah.
I could just see Hilton cringing.
That's a lovely front end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough about
That was an ambush.
So then, of course, the ON30 matured quite well, so I had to find something else to go and buy as well. Just what's next? So I went to Switzerland on holiday a couple of times and got to see the RHB in all of its wonderfulness. So if anyone who doesn't know the Rätische or however you say it in which language, it's the railway that's referred to in every single news article as one of the most scenic journeys in the world.
In the world.
I'm going to regret saying that, aren't I?
Isn't
You
that
could just
the
see
one
the Scottish tourist boards sharpening their pitchforks.
Is this the same?
Yes,
railway
I'm
that
afraid this
recently-
is not the Hogwarts Express.
Oh.
Yes,
It's better, but
it is.
controversial. In fact, there's a point actually, because you can see on that locomotive, there's an illustration of a big curvy bridge.
Is it? I was going to say, isn't this the one that last year or the year before did the world's longest train?
That's right. Yes. I forget the length now because it was 25. They call them Capricorns put together.
Let me.
So is this an MDS one?
World's longest
Yes.
passenger train was 1,910 meters long, so 1.2 miles.
Yeah.
It was the longest passenger train.
So I suppose the bit for the story is that hooked on the RHB, got to buy the
Asian
models.
Railway.
Now, what models are available? Now, there's BMO, which is HOM 12mm gauge, quite expensive, and then there's what Dan's got, which is even more expensive. So a bit tricky. Very lovely though.
I'm having trouble pulling my.
He's fiddling with his pants again.
Stop fiddling with your pants.
All right,
It's already
okay.
hit you in the
Just-
face once.
Just rearranging myself.
That's what your pants are for.
Big things.
So the third option was announced relatively recently, which is Kato making a range of RHB trains to run on N gauge.
I forgot you did that.
So there you go, surprise for Dan. So because I bought the trains, but I hadn't got the layout yet, but I knew somebody who had an N gauge layout, so it was Dan.
Is
run
that
the
British
train.
stuff I see in the background?
That's Dan's N gauge layout,
Dan?
as seen in Railway Modeler.
Yes.
Oh.
February 2022. 23. Yes,
Yes.
that's it. Or it might have been March because it was February 23 that we got the article come through.
It was indeed a month.
Yeah, so
It was a month in
Something like that.
2023.
I'm gonna look it up now. No, I shouldn't. It's not important.
it's
So, yeah.
digression. It's not narrow gauge.
No, back to narrow gauge, which
Back
is
to narrow gauge.
so the RHB is meter gauge in real life. So
Mountaineer.
no.
Denied.
There's the anorak coming out there. So The 3D printed designs that you saw earlier, I kept doing that as sort of a side hustle or whatever. So it was designing the England engines as built for 5.5mm scale, and the whole time I thought there's got to be a market for this in 009, but nobody does a chassis that's anywhere near small enough.
Percy.
And then Bachmann announced that they were going to do an N-gauge Thomas range, and that would include Percy. And I thought, well, if anything might work, that could be it. So literally the second that they were in the country, it was like, yeah, buy and check. Yeah, oh right, this is a go.
So you bought them all.
I was going to say, aren't they like the most used N-gauge chassis?
Well, there's the question, because I wasn't the first person to release something to go on it. I think I was the second in the end, due to refining how many versions, because I released 9 versions of England at the time.
Oh wow!
Which is why this is not Mountaineer, because you can quite clearly see that this is the Princess. Completely different.
Clearly.
Rob.
Completely different.
It's got
Well,
the handrail is slightly higher.
Yes, that's correct.
This is like Black
That is true. That is actually yes.
That was completely random.
well done. So on Princess, I'm not quite sure why, but on old photographs, you can see that the side tanks have been raised up, which then means that the handrails are higher, so they don't actually line up with the ones on the rear back sheets. But they do on Mountaineer.
So I just found out.
Somebody
This has been so when the magazine was released, I bought myself a copy because they messed up the address and sent it to the wrong address. So I ended up with this copy that I've only just opened, and I didn't realize they did this. Yeah, because I bought a copy and I can't find the one I bought, but it's full of these. I'd never realized. So I've had these for 2.5 years. I've not realised.
You've had stickers of as seen as in
right.
Railway Modeler.
Can anyone feel as seen as Dan right now?
That's
brilliant. You literally have a whole deck of stickers now that say "as seen." You have these.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Do we need to get some stickers made that say "as seen" on the shunting yard for our guests?
Possibly. Oh, adverts for Hattons. That's going back a bit.
James, yes, James, yes. We need
details. Right, let's move on from not
Mountaineer.
Mountaineer.
We'll get there
because as well.
There we go. It's not Mountaineer.
It's Mountaineer.
As per you, the mountain. No.
It's S&M with a tender.
No. These were made by George England. It's not. It's not a Nielsen. Pedant again, but same sort of era, I guess, which is nice and interesting. Dan's just too busy showing off. That hang on, Dan. That you've broken the rules. That's
talking about narrow gauge, right. Dan.
That's standard gauge. That's wrong.
Put it away. Put it away. Get in your box.
Be unseen in Railway Modeler.
Okay, can I just float this here right now?
Uh-oh.
Do we need to get Hilt some of these? Because his layout needs to be in Railway Modeler.
Oh, it should be, yeah.
Yeah. I think. And I think
when it's finished, for sure. At the very least, the centre building is a Pico kit. So
I don't think Pico have the budget to go to South Africa.
There's a thing called email. And photographers exist all around the world.
Fair, yeah. It's definitely Hilton's layout is definitely Railway Modeler worthy. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it should be on the cover, and literally the article should be headlined. I had no idea what I was doing.
But that's part of the fun, isn't it?
It is part of the fun.
Actually perfect.
It's good.
Petition. Yeah. Someone who knows someone at Railway Modeler, get that sorted.
Also, every year there's a special Scottish edition of the mag.
Every February.
In time for Model Rail Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, so 2026 Scotch Week. There's
a target.
Come on, Hilt, get it finished.
Well, it doesn't have to get it. It's finished enough. It just needs some decent pictures, and then he can talk about it. And he could do a revisited article in a couple of years' time, and you get 2 bites of the cherry. Then
Tom said Tom at Buggle Skelly said he'll be in Continental Modeler, so no one will read it.
That's very mean. Andrew does a lot of good work.
And true.
And Andrew Burnham, the editor of Continental Modeler.
No, and true.
And true, yeah.
Right. So Princess, not Mountaineer.
So started collecting these 009 things because lots of companies started making them ready to run. So what do you do when you've got a load of locomotives that you have nowhere to play with, and coaches and wagons, and you build a layout? But not normally like this. So this is using the scale model scenery board to fit in a really useful box. So I'd originally bought it thinking I'd use it for the Swiss N, and then it didn't quite work out for what I intended to do. But then getting into 009, it's right there. Let's try and figure out a track plan that will fit. So the basis of this layout, I've called it Pen Machno, because the North Wales narrow gauge railways, they propose to build lines all over North Wales, and this was one of them. So the slate quarry at the end of the Pen Machno Valley is real, but it never had a railway that went to it. It was sort of the other side of the Blaenau Festiniog area. And the slate was taken out by steam lorry. But I've built a layout of the what if there was the railway. So I've used some of the known architecture. So the station building is a North Wales narrow gauge style. So yeah. And I've ended up taking it to a few exhibitions as well.
It's a nice looking layout.
It's really nice. I like the kind of there's not loads going on it, but I think that really helps. That you could center in on like the track work and the buildings that are actually on the layout, and I think that's something that a lot of people underestimate sometimes.
I mean, my sort of focus in the hobby is operation and shunting, so it was mainly coming up with a track plan that was interesting. So part of the basis of the layout, the theme of it, is that it's the termini for the passenger operations, and then the slate goes on up away from that picture, and then swapping the trains about.
It works lovely. It looks absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it flows quite nicely. There's a lot of photos of it here.
Oh, what's the yellow thing?
Well,
we'll get there. One photo at a time.
Oh, is that Livingston Thompson?
Yes, the double fairly.
I presume.
Which was scanned in Boston Lodge, apparently, even though it lives in York. Who knows? Who knows? I don't work for Bachmann.
Oh, is it a Bachmann one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I thought it was Livingston Thompson.
Aaron,
but they made Merthin Emrys as well.
But why is it not bigger than Livingston Thompson then?
Because it's historic. We went through this. So when they released the model of Merthin Emrys in red, that is a model of what the real thing was effectively a model of post 2016 repaint. So even though the whole thing's bigger now because of the Hunslet boiler and whatnot, that livery and appearance and the splashers being reinstalled, that is because of how it looked in the 1910s.
I was like homage to its original form.
But it's green now, so
yeah.
So here we have a Welsh Highland train, which now this.
Oh, yes. Now that's an engine.
Dan has physically exhumed himself.
So this is the namesake. So a bit like Dan has Maud, I have Mountaineer. It is what I remember, and it doesn't work anymore. But it might do one day. So send your money in and buy cool tops like this.
Well, now since you mentioned Mountaineer, that that rendition. Someone on the realistic 7mm narrow gauge Facebook group has literally just finished their DCC sound version of that.
Yes,
7mm.
Paul Holmes.
It
So
looks amazing, doesn't it?
yes. So one of the interesting challenges with making a model was the background. So this was it's a 3D print to my design on a Bachmann 08 chassis. So again, seeing the chassis opportunity and going with it, because the brand new 08, it doesn't have the gearbox tower like before, so you can fit this one in and it all works out. But yeah, Paul's one. So none of the published drawings are correct to the actual loco. They're all sort of a bit out of kilter. So to make the model, Paul and my brother went and measured up the real thing. So from those measurements, he scratch built a model, and I designed this 3D print in different scales respectively. So yeah, they should look the same when you're saying that his looks more impressive, but.
Well, no, I'm just saying because I've seen that
It's
close
in
up and I've seen
7mm.
it moving. That's all I'm saying. And it's 7mm, obviously, so it's going to have more detail on it than a smaller version, or you'll be able to see the detail more refined in a bigger format.
Yeah, because an interesting challenge on that one was it's actually got the full checker plate texture where appropriate in the print.
I'd love one of those.
Well, yeah.
More than Tom Rolt.
Tom Rolt's on the naughty step again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, always be on the naughty
feature,
step.
Actually,
It should
everything
go back
else
to Ireland.
leading up to this. Irish Pete update. No?
No.
Tom Rolt was going to be called Irish Pete. So
Oh, really?
Tom Rolt update.
But it's called Tom Rolt
Well, it should
Yeah.
be called Irish
by
Pete.
popular vote.
There was a vote.
It
Tom
should be
Rolt
called
means
Irish
Tom
Pete.
Rolt
Diplomacy, damn it!
for the sovereignty of the Tally Flynn.
Okay, so I'm going to throw in a question now. We've gone through your models, Max.
Yeah, sorry that took
So-
longer than expected.
No, not at all. We've done a similar thing with Guest in the past, and it lasted the entire bloody stream, so it's fine. But you've got some fantastic models there. But I'm curious. Well, I was going to ask what your favourite narrow gauge locomotive was. I think it's pretty obvious what it is.
It's the Porthmadog, Beth Gellert, and South Snowdon Electric. It's got to be.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the NA is a pretty strong contender.
Oh, NA time. So where's yours then, Rob?
Not applicable.
Yeah,
Where's yours?
why you got?
Yeah, why
I
haven't you got one?
I
You
don't
need to
model
get
in ON30, so
It'll look great with all your Lionheart stuff.
How can I do
it probably
this?
would, but I don't want one because I haven't.
It's just,
I
it's
haven't
just a
got
big
one.
Lin. It's just a
I
big
haven't
Lin.
got one.
Big Lin.
I haven't
Yeah.
got one.
Yeah, so get one. Sort it
No.
out.
No, not unless someone's willing to sell me one. I don't want.
Yeah, as in, they're still available on Max.
Excellent question.
I'm
I mean,
sure they are.
I still keep finding opportunities to buy them.
Yeah, exactly. And they come in many different colours.
Yes. So unlike the ON30 range, which was black, 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 Russia Island boiler, black, 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 these
And
are...
Bumblebee.
That's a standard gauge livery. That doesn't count. The NAs were first painted in apple green, then over to Canadian red, and finally black. But there was one for sale quite a while, which had Southern written on it. So surely that would have been
Really?
for you, Rob.
Yeah.
That'd fit my layout pretty well. But yeah, we maybe we'll see.
Okay.
You need to sort it out.
We will see.
You really do.
Rob,
Maybe.
Dare I ask you what your favourite narrow gauge locomotive is?
It's quite obvious. Tom Rolt, isn't it?
No, it's Irish Pete.
It's not.
Yeah, Irish Pete.
Irish
It's called
Pete.
Tom Rolt. It's called Tom Rolt.
Irish
What have I
Pete.
done?
Tom.
No need to have a paddy about it.
Tom's modelling corner is saying Rob can make a what if model of Tom Roll. So now you need to get another Tom Roll and call it Irish Pete.
Well, funny you should say that, because I actually got a misprint the first time I actually got the Tom Roll kit.
Yeah, there you go.
So I do actually have another Tom Roll. I just don't want to build it because I know what problem Tom Roll caused me in the first time. So
he said Tom Roll like 10 times in 2 sentences.
Tom Roll.
What did he say? I don't know. He said Tom Roll a lot.
What's that? Is it a bit like Irish Pete?
It's funnily enough, it's exactly the same as Irish Pete.
But it's
Is it
not.
really? The only difference is the spelling.
Okay, Dan, what about you? Favorite narrow gauge locomotive?
Oh, this is an easy one. At the moment,
Same again.
Santa Teresa #1, which better be running the week after next.
Well, they had both of them running the other week, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's
Pretty
been
amazing.
#2 this week, so hopefully it'll be on washout or something, and they'll swap them over. But yeah, how about you, James?
And James, what's yours?
Or have you not known about what narrow gauge is long to be able to?
No, so I really like the K24s, the American K24s.
Picture?
Try again.
Is it a K24?
Try again.
It's probably not. It's probably not right. I don't know. I watched.
Max, is he getting mud hens wrong?
I'm always
I
getting
don't know.
stuff wrong.
Getting mud hens wrong.
I don't know if I should say, because it could be a sports
Or it's
version as well.
Is it the 36? It's probably the 36. I don't know. It's one of
not
those.
either.
It's one
Not
of
the
those from
27.
the Denver and Rio Grande.
So you have the 27s, the 28s, the 36s, and the 37s.
One of those. All of them look great. Yeah, it's the 27. That one. It looks fantastic.
Mud hen.
463.
It looks fantastic, and it's the one thing that is constantly making me want to go into American narrow gauge, whether it's ON30 or HON30.
Okay,
because
give
I
me
know
a moment.
This is where Dan will show off.
Blackstone did a brass model in HON30, which is like
I had one.
$600.
Two things here. So Blackstone made one in HON3, not HON30.
Sorry,
So I don't know if we were going to discuss this, because it's sort of the different ways of modelling narrow gauge. So we know of 009, which is all about 00 scale on N gauge track, but the Americans, they did their narrow gauge modelling properly, so it's all the correct gauge. So right, how many people have I upset in the chat by saying that the Americans do it properly? So HON3 is 3 times HO scale, so it's 10.5 millimeters. So Blackstone made that, but Dan is thinking of the ON30, but also available in ON3 version, which was made by Mountain Model Imports. And you really don't seem to see many of those for sale anymore.
No, I was amazed. So I bought one, and it didn't fit on my layout. It hit everything because it was just too wide.
You sold it, didn't you?
It waddled down the track.
Actually, the seller was really understanding and gave me a full refund. I sent it back. The pictures, we are talking 13 years ago. The pictures are in, I've just sent them to you, James. So you can show the lovely ladies and gentlemen in our audience.
I don't know how this is going to work.
This big fat boy.
Show the ladies and gentlemen and mud hens.
The mud hen. And it was the right number as well. But it wouldn't go through Pico points. It was that. It just didn't like the...
You guys won't be able to see this, but the stream will be able to, and it is gorgeous.
It's massive. So that is 16.5 mil track underneath it.
Oh.
So you like 00 track, and that gives you an idea of how wide it is. Look at those cylinders.
So this feeds into what I was saying about the 3-truck Shay, is that if you make correct models of 3-foot gauge prototypes and then put them on 16.5 gauge track, they end up being rather large.
I'm amazed it didn't bend that viaduct, to be honest. But viaduct. So that was a double track 00 viaduct. that I put a single track O gauge narrow gauge through.
So you can see why I'm tempted by it.
There is a great photo of a K27 breaking a bridge, where it's like that.
Oh. To Google.
I was going to say, that's literally what I'm doing now.
But yeah, personally, I prefer the K28s. Be it either the air pump on the front or because obscurity, the Oahu version.
Put it this way: if we're going to talk American stuff, we need to talk about the Uinta.
Yeah,
we will be doing an American stream soon. But we'll be talking about American.
We can't put American into one stream.
No,
but listen,
you can't do American narrow gauge in one stream.
But okay, well, we've got to start ramping down now, chaps. We can't go into another subheading.
So is that why this evening was advertised as Wales to South Africa, and I've kind of ruined it all by showing all my American stuff?
No.
Yes,
I'm only joking. But
no, it was global, but yeah, we've only got 2 hours.
Well, we did start late, so
It's only like 15 minutes late.
Tom Marshall is asking, is there any narrow gauge that runs on T gauge 3mm track? I.e. would N scale narrow gauge be T or Z?
Depends on the narrow gauge, I suppose.
I think Tom wants a Falcon.
A Falcon.
So one thing to sort of bear in mind is that there's three. There's three ways you can model narrow gauge. One is using the standard gauges below
the Great Western Road, wrong way.
Yes, well that's why there's three ways because the using the standard gauge below, so N gauge for 009, 00 gauge for 016.5, and so on. There's the correct way, which is making the gauge correct for the scale. So 10.5 for 3 foot gauge in HO, or the ON3 is 19.05, I think, because it's 3/4 of an inch for 1/4 inch to the foot scale. And then the third way of doing it is using a commercial track gauge and then just inventing a scale that fits that, which is where 5.5 more or less came about. So 5.5 being an obscure scale that's not commercially available, or as much. You can't buy a standard gauge 5.5, for instance, but it worked. It suited the 12mm gauge, which was all the rage at the time.
Computer says no.
No?
No, just all I can hear is James typing.
Sorry. I've had to go back to this for some stupid reason. I'm sorry.
Computer says no.
Computer says no. No, I don't know.
Margaret?
Questions?
No.
Margaret?
You had a whole list of questions, Rob, and it's just completely gone out the window.
I didn't realise you had a model of Margaret.
Do we have any more questions from the chat?
Is that in the NG7 range then?
Yeah, somebody said Margaret. So Margaret.
Oh,
Margaret.
That's at Brecon Mountain.
At the moment, yes.
And I've driven it.
Where does it normally live?
Rydal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've joined forces, so who knows what that will bring in the future. Hopefully exciting things.
Yeah, like Baldwin's to the Rydal Valley.
Well, they've announced they're going to make one of the Indian Pacifics run.
Have they?
I say one of them. I'm not sure if it's public that they have two. Because they've only shown off one.
Yeah.
King Ori is saying that he's driven they've driven Margaret to Rydal.
Yeah, because they were offering driver for a $5, but it was more than £5, I recall.
Hilton says, yes, Dan,
normally
still
these
another
days, isn't
train from your colonies.
What? What? Wales is not a colony of mine. Yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any more questions from the chat?
I can't see any.
You can't see any. So Tom's Modelling Corner says, to be fair, we lost half an hour, you guys trying to sort yourselves out, XD.
Dan playing with his pants.
Wait, where are you?
Bantergraphs.
Bantergraphs.
Pico did the GVT tram as a kit for it. For N-Gage NN3 that runs on Z.
True. That is true.
Yeah. So that's an answer to an earlier question.
Aaron, nobody's
quite,
picked up on
yeah.
NZ yet because we don't care.
Pin Motorsport Train says, enjoying the stream, leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. The Shunting Yard, I don't know which one of you runs the Shunting Yard in the comments.
It's
okay. Well, you have an actual voice, so yeah. So cold, James.
Yes.
Says PN Motorsport Train.
Tom's Modelling Corner is asking, which narrow gauge engine would you like to drive? Dan?
Oh, can I give the same answer for the third time, Dan?
I mean, Tom,
all together now.
What else did you want?
To be fair, I need a painting of it for my wall. I do.
Go get one. Find one on Tinder.
Yeah, not that story. I suppose they are narrow gauge, so I can
they
show
are
the
narrow
chat.
gauge, so you can show them. I was waiting until
Right,
the
here we
very
go.
end of
This is okay.
I was waiting for the end of the
Here we
stream
go.
for this. He's gonna kill me later. He is really gonna kill me later for this.
Yeah, so long story short, I recently went on a Tinder date, first Tinder date with somebody, and her father had passed away last year, but he was a big fan of South African steam, and she was clearing out the house and said that these were going to go to the charity shop unless I wanted them. And yeah, seeing as South African steam is 3'6", that's narrow gauge, this counts. So yeah, I came away from the date with this.
As you do.
I mean, best
And
date
this.
ever, right?
It was pretty up there.
If this is what's going on Tinder, I want in.
I know, right? Yeah.
What settings? What question does it ask you to trigger that one?
It just says It just says, "Do you like trains?"
Yeah, likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
Cape Gauge.
He literally turned up and said, "Oh, what are you into?" And he said, "I like trains."
Well, I've got these in the
Dan,
car
I
for
had
you.
to. I knew it was narrow gauge, so I had to.
To be fair, I mean, that's one of the boxes I didn't realise was there for completing Tinder, but coming away with railway art.
Is there another box for as seen as Railway Modeler, so you can check that one now as well?
Tom says an actual Tinder success story.
To be fair, I do need a plain white T-shirt with that as seen in Railway Modeler on it for when I go to shows.
Yes.
I think that would work.
Yes. Okay, so we know what you would rather drive. Max, what do you want to drive?
Well, I'm usually drawn to narrow gauge. The modelling rather than the real thing. I suppose it could be an opportunity, but none of these exist anymore. But I just want an excuse to show off this.
Oh, his Yoo-hoo is made of gold.
Well, yes.
It's got a
Or brass.
It's got a bogey on the back.
So this is a Mason bogey.
That's a 10 mile, isn't it?
Well, one of them was named 10 Mile, yes.
I've played Railroads Online. I know what it is.
Oh, right, yeah. There was a whole class of Mason bogies, and one of them was called 10 Mile.
Makes you an expert.
I've played Train Sim. I'm an expert. I can drive any train.
I know Thomas the Tank Engine.
I suppose I have to thank Railroads Online, because otherwise it would have been single fairly.
At least I was close.
Yeah, that's good.
I remember that game with Betsy.
Yes,
it's now bigger, but it's got
bigger.
more bugs in
it's
it.
bigger.
Doesn't mean it's better.
It's got you into Malay.
Shit.
It's got you into Malay. The Anarchy 27. So actually, that's what we all need. That is how I can drive
online.
the Mason Bogey.
You said the word.
Yeah.
You enter.
So after this, we all need to go on Railroads Online and.
Yeah, we'll stream that instead.
Stream that instead.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored.
Oh.
So James, what would be yours?
But then I'm excited for Century of Steam because it's got a DL535E in it, which is something else that I've not been able to talk about this evening.
Oh, is that the white part?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Really?
that. I've got to be out of the loft by half 10, so I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, no, it's not.
He's
It's
got
not
a curfew.
that. No.
He's got a curfew. It's right, we'll do some private sessions later. You'll be fine. Everything, all of them.
Yeah.
But I thought your answer would be Earl or Countess, Great Western Boy.
No.
Rydell.
Why would it be? Why would you automatically shoot?
'Cause they're-
It's got to be Talaclin, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah,
maybe.
just for nostalgia, just for the pure nostalgia. I think for me it has to be Talaclin.
What, Tom Rolls?
Oh no, Irish Pete. If it was named Irish Pete, I would happily drive it for a $5.
What's wrong with Dolgoch?
I mean,
Just put Hilton's face
I'm
on the
trying
front, and
not
he'll be
to
all.
mention
He'll be
the
game.
trains with faces this entire stream. You know, I've been trying to avoid that entire region, and you keep pushing. We keep pushing it
what?
back to
Who
Wales.
keeps bringing the blue bastard into this?
Stop.
I didn't mention Douglas.
No,
I said Dolgoch.
You said Dolgoch. I know, but I'm trying not to mention why I would rather.
Because Renias.
Renias, yeah, because everybody's saying it wrong apparently.
Yeah.
I'd rather drive Boulder.
Back to Tinder
It's
again, are we?
running.
How would you drive Boulder? Would it be like a pod raid thing where it just goes round, or would you be somersaulting with it?
Oh, somersaulting
like-
with it.
Talaclin Zorbing.
What?
Oh,
Okay, moving on.
moving
Yes,
on.
Boulder is not narrow
Ne-
gauge. Wrong answer.
Next question, Rob.
Next question, Rob.
Rob.
Tom
Rob,
says,
what-
what's the temperature in your railway space?
About 26 degrees up here at the moment.
We've got to the temperature bits.
No idea.
I think it's time to roll down.
I think it's similar on mine.
I don't have a thermometer in my office. I don't need one.
Me
No?
neither. I'm told it's 16 outside, but inside I'm not.
Oh, Tom Marshall said this stream has come a bit childish for me. Oh,
You should have been here from the beginning. It's been terrible.
Oh,
it has.
it started. It started.
this
We
is-
meant to go
I'm
on.
surprised. I'm surprised we have the number of viewers we've had. You guys are very loyal.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I've let you down.
I'm not looking forward to the ticking off from Hilt after this, to be honest.
I mean, I'm going to graciously accept it.
He's not going to be happy, is he?
Is he ever?
I feel bad.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Well, we've let everyone down. Let's talk
No.
about. We've
There's
got
a
to
joke
convert
about
everyone to narrow gauge, and we haven't made the case.
Oh no, you don't need to sell. You don't need to sell people on narrow gauge. There just needs to be more of it.
So, there is a bombshell here, and that is that StreamYard's been up for the last hour.
I was trying not to mention it. I've had it on a second screen, waiting,
Yeah,
just
so have
refreshing
I.
it, and I haven't wanted to say a thing because I didn't
Yeah.
want to go. Shall we just shut down and restart?
That's one of Dan's fortes. We weren't going to say that, but
Oh, about as
Hilton is now proclaiming that he chose not to be part of this. By the way, Tom, he joined
Garrett.
the pre-stream just to leave at the last second.
he's a bit like Bruce Ismay,
Yes,
but
but the Garrett,
but the Garrett. Okay, right. I think we've got time for one last question because it seems like we're all struggling with our own.
pick a good question.
What scale would you recommend as a starter narrow gauge model and gauge?
009, hands down.
So we've got one vote for 009.
I think
Max?
it depends what you're modelling. Depends because
ON30.
Everybody gets excited by these, but they don't run like these ones. These are brilliant.
I was gonna say,
and the trouble is
it's got to be NG7 now, hasn't it?
I get that, but the reason I say 009 is purely because of the variety.
16.5.
And you can't buy one of these in 009.
But you say that the variety with 3D printing nowadays, you know,
it's getting there.
NG7 is going to dwarf 009 in the future. Absolutely going to dwarf it.
And it all started with Gowrie.
It's going to be playing catch up now, but it then, you know, 16.5 is there, and it is a very good scale. It's just that if you're entering into narrow gauge and you have a niche, if you've been to the Festiniog or something like that and you want to model that kind of thing, 009 is obviously the choice to go with, isn't it?
Yeah, you can buy more. That's why I say it depends what you're modelling. If you want to model the Festiniog, you can buy it all. Lintel and Barnstable, actually, famously, you can buy everything ready to run. One of the first railways, you could buy its entire locomotive fleet ready to run. There's not many railways you can say. Well, in yes, but it was sort of pointed out that if you think of any other railway in Britain, you can't buy its entire fleet ready to run.
Yeah, I mean you can buy half. We can buy pretty much half of their fleet in 16.5, but
yeah, need a lid.
And mainly carriage fleets.
So,
but
what are we saying? 16.5 and Rob is wrong.
Just saying O-gauge, narrow gauge in general, because you can't get a Shea, a Climax, or a Heisler in 009 yet. So
those sound very.
That is an interesting twist. Yeah, voting for the scale you don't model in, and two that.
I mean, yeah,
keeps it interesting.
I'll put it this way, because it's kind of fluid. The whole ON30 is a concept. If anything, you can run NG7 with it because it's a concept.
As shown, yeah.
As shown with my NA that has 7mm figures in it. And they fit.
Right. Actually, interesting point on figures, because on the Princess that was shown earlier, I've got the Model U figures, but actually I think they're too big because they're scans of people today, and people were smaller back then.
But I think actually the most genuine point there was what Max said about this runs okay, this runs better.
Yes.
But that's a common thing. That's a common thing that people find between N gauge and say 00 gauge, though, isn't it? 00 gauge locomotives have obviously got better geared motors and things like that for crawling and moving at slower speeds. Whereas N gauge, even up to now, you know, you to make them actually run properly, you have to whack up the throttle a fair bit, don't you?
If you want to run big tender engines, N gauge works fine. If you run small tank engines, go to 00.
This is where Fimbra is going to kick off. And Morewood is absolutely going to kick off as well.
Oh, they dropped off ages ago.
Actually, if you go for reliability, you want a model 3 foot. Like
I tell you what, they can fight me.
Oh, he's here. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Sorry. Is that the advanced sample of the Hornby TT model?
Oh yeah, yeah, certainly is.
Okay.
I mean, why else would you buy a J50 if it wasn't the only thing? Anyway,
no. We're not starting the N-gauge conversation now. Save that for another day.
We will do an N-gauge stream.
Aaron, I think we're going to call this the last one. Aaron is asking, what narrow gauge locomotive would you like in Ready to Run? Well, I think Max, yours is obvious. And obviously, Aaron hasn't been watching the darn stream.
This.
How many questions can we think of where Dan's answer is Santa Teresa number 1?
What
is your favourite green engine?
Here's a challenge.
Which engine in 2 foot gauge is acceptable in green? This.
What is your favourite 262?
This.
That's a Prairie.
It is. It's a 262.
Although it used to be a mogul.
It did.
And Brecon Mountain made it into a 262.
They made it better.
They made it better.
They did their own kit bash. Like my tank engine conversions. They got this engine from...
They went,
the longer this stream goes on, the more I want a model of.
They went, right. I like this.
Sorry. But yeah.
This is better.
But this is better.
Yeah. I like this, but removing the tanks and having a tender would be better.
Well, just get another one.
This is better, but I like this.
Just get another one and do the conversion.
Yep.
Tom, we did listen, but yes, it is engaged, so we completely ignored it. Also, mainly because it's Hilton, and he ditched us.
Going back to that question, personally, I would love to see an NG15 in 16.5 ready to run.
I mean, how big is your wallet?
For that, I'd sell anything. But
the thing is, you say that. You say you'd love to.
Like a money-making scheme. I'll just build one on the quiet and say.
Have you just woken up, Rob? You said you wanted to see an NGG16 and ready to run. Max showed us one twice.
No, an NG15.
Oh, 15. All right.
It's been awkward.
I don't want a Garrett. I want something unique.
And by making it ready to run makes it unique.
I was going to say.
Well, this was what I was
that's running in real life. Only one.
No, there's a few.
Say, when my answer was obvious, ready to run.
Yeah.
There's ones with smoke deflectors and everything. And different colours.
Well, I want an NG15, damn it.
And green and red, and we'll make it happen. But yeah, the sort of my answer on ready to run, you'd think it'd be Mountaineer, but I've put a load of hard work into making one, so surely I don't want it to come out ready to run and put all that hard work to waste.
So what is it then?
The Portsmouth, Bethgilla and South Snowden electric in 009
it's
with the keep alive.
People's electric locomotives.
It's a crocodile in NG.
No, you know what it is? It's the G45 to go with this lot.
It's the box. Yeah.
G45 or the G34.
G34, because actually for the longest time it was what we want ready to run is a crocodile on N-gauge.
Yes.
Because as everyone knows, crocodiles are just electric Garretts, and Garretts are brilliant. So
electric Garretts.
Crocodiles.
Oh,
they bend in the same way.
Yeah, okay.
So this is all we've got for now.
Don't get out that filth. It's not allowed. It's not allowed on YouTube. Put it away.
It's narrow gauge.
I know, fine. But it's not allowed on YouTube. We are not
actually
allowed.
I could have shown a Lego one, but that's a standard gauge one.
Don't get the Lego out. Yes. Don't get the Lego out. Hilton will have an aneurysm.
Oh?
I thought he's had one already.
No. That was a bad aneurysm. This will be a good aneurysm.
The problem is we'd have no idea what we're doing.
Go on, James. What's yours, mate?
I've completely forgotten the question.
If there's to be any narrow gauge ready to run model you could have, what would it be?
It's the Veil of Rydal. It has to be done now, not 10 years ago when they told us it was coming.
That's being made. What else?
That is a myth. Until I see an actual model in the shops done, it's a myth. They've made one. There is one tiny thing that was a sample, and that's it.
So why do you prefer the Rydal to the Welsh Pool? And the Chorus, taking all the Great Western narrow gauge into account?
Because it still looks like it's a Great Western. The rest of them just changed everything.
No, the Welsh Pool engines do look very Great Western.
I prefer it because I like the look of the Veil of Rydal tanks. Of course, I like the Welsh Pool, the Chorus and everything. You know, I have nothing against them. I just like those locomotives. So the Veil of Rydal takes the biscuit.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, that sounds like a natural kind of finishing point, doesn't it?
I don't.
Apart from Tom Marshall saying that he's working on some SA recently, and I'm too intrigued now.
Yeah, I need to know.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
Tell me more.
Tell us more.
Me more.
Tell us
does
more.
Does he have a car?
Tell us more.
Tell me more.
Tell us when the video is going to be scheduled.
Is it a Garrett? Yes,
Well,
yes,
what was
Ori.
the
I always blabber my way into oblivion when we're ramping down to the end.
While
This
we're
is
waiting for Tom, shall we do our shout outs?
We're not waiting for Tom.
We're not.
He's literally just said nope.
Okay.
Sport.
Okay. Let's get this wrapped up then. Max, where can people find you if they want to see your content?
So people can find me on YouTube and Instagram under Mountaineer1265.
YouTube doesn't like that.
Dan?
I'm a scene in Railway Modeler.
after how many years? That's the highlight of the entire stream.
You need to add it to your
February 2023 issue. So if you have the app, you can go and find it.
Tell you what I'll do, Dan. My local Heritage Railway has a pre-owned book store that they give away magazines for free, like old modelling magazines. I might go see if it's in there.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a load of fun doing that. Yes. All right.
Back issue.
Here, I found the issue with it in. Oh, it's not that good. It's all small and all N-gauge. Right. Where can you find me? Pedantic Mongrels Railway channel on YouTube, Pedantic Mongrels Double O Modelling, and Pedantic Mongrels Engage Modelling on Instagram and Facebook. There is a link tree from my YouTube to find everything. All of my modelling stuff.
And
all the stuff that
Santa Teresa modelling coming soon, right?
Yes, Tom. Rob is saying.
I just need to find a tame CAD engineer to help me.
James.
You can find me on YouTube at Little Western Model Railway. The same on
the Little
Instagram.
Rydal Model Railway.
The Little Rydal. No, it's the Little Western.
That's next year when they release the Rydal tanks.
That's the Little Western Railway.
The Little Western. It's the Micro Western.
Wow.
And what about you, Rob? Where can people find you?
And I am the Kiln Line on Instagram and YouTube. That's it.
Is that about it?
That's
This
it.
has been an absolute freaking disaster.
We've been proper chuffed.
We've been proper chuffed. And this is...
I'm so sorry.
You've been watching the Shunting.
All the viewers.
This is proof that none of us know what we're doing.
And all that's left to say,
no idea what we're doing.
Before James finishes the stream, thank you for remaining conscious.
Yes, thank you to the 11 people still here. You are troopers.
Yes.
I look forward to the memes. Get into the Discord. Send me the memes from this stream in Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Discord, wherever. Don't put it in the Discord. Don't send it public. Send it to me. It'll be in next week's stream. I promise. I can see some golden stuff coming through. Rob, why don't you finish us up?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you for joining us. Thank you to Max for being our guest this evening, although it has been absolutely chaotic and hasn't been formatted whatsoever. Thank you to everybody for watching, and we will see you next week.
I just have one final shout out to do. Thunderblade 989 says, pure insanity. I loved every second of it.
I've loved every second of it too.
Thank you, dude. We look forward to seeing your interjections next week. Ta-ta.
Take care,
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye. And we're out.
That was fucking madness.